All right, let's jump right in. When we think about marketing for wedding venues, it's all about the bride, right? I mean, everything is laser focused on her. But what if I told you that your biggest, most untapped source of revenue isn't the bride at all? It's actually every single person she invites. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on exactly that, this huge hidden opportunity.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll pinpoint that asset you might be overlooking. Then we'll dive into the problem with the typical guest experience. From there, we'll talk about the digital solution, why it's a game changer for getting more bookings. And finally, we'll run the numbers and see how one wedding can turn into many more. Okay, so every venue pours so much time and money into wooing the couple. But here's the thing. In doing that, they often completely miss the marketing goldmine that's sitting right there in their own ballroom. I want you to just pause and think about this for a second. With all the cash you spend on ads, on social media, on bridal shows, where do you think your single biggest untapped marketing opportunity really is? It's the guests, yep, hiding in plain sight. Every single wedding guest is a potential future client, a walk-in referral, maybe even a corporate event planner. But the way most venues handle them doesn't just miss this opportunity, it actually creates a problem. So let's talk about that problem. See, the traditional guest experience isn't just a little disorganized, it can be a fragmented, stressful mess that actively chips away at your venue's reputation. And you know exactly what this looks like, right? It's that out-of-control WhatsApp group where the ceremony time is buried under like 200 messages about what shoes to wear. It is pure, unfiltered chaos. And it gets worse. You've got crucial details just lost in these endless email chains. So what happens? Well, all that chaos means guests start calling, bombarding your venue, or even worse, the already stressed out bride, with the same basic questions over and over. It's just so much unnecessary friction. Then, on the big day itself, this turns into real-world stress. You've got guests driving in circles looking for parking, or total confusion about where they're supposed to sit, and all these little frustrations, they really do add up to a bad experience.
And here's the real kicker. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. All of this chaos, it directly harms how people see your venue. It's a really simple equation, actually. Every bit of confusion weakens your brand, and every moment of clarity and ease makes it stronger.
So what's the fix? Well, the solution is to take all that chaos and funnel it into one simple centralized digital hub. It's all about transforming that fragmented experience into something that feels seamless, professional, and honestly, just reassuring for everybody. And a system like this can handle pretty much everything. Just imagine, RSVPs are all automated. No more messing with crazy spreadsheets. There's one single place for all the event info, maps, times, dress codes, so nobody gets confused. The system can even help the bride with seating charts, guide guests on travel, send out professional reminders so fewer people bail, and you can even engage guests after the event with things like photo galleries. It's total control and clarity, all from one dashboard. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but it only really matters after a bride books with me. But that's where you'd be wrong. The real magic here is how this influences a bride before she even signs on the dotted line. Because deep down, this is the one question every single bride is asking herself when she tours your venue. She's not just buying a pretty room, she's buying a solution to the insane stress of planning a wedding. So you're really offering a choice. A venue with no system? That signals potential chaos. It adds to her mental to-do list. But when you can show her a sleek, organized digital guest management system, you're signaling competence, you're signaling professionalism. You are literally telling her, don't worry, we've got this handled, which just melts away her stress and skyrockets her confidence in booking with you. All right, let's get into the numbers. Let's see how this actually builds your business over the long haul, because this is where a single event becomes a powerful marketing engine for you. Let's just start with a typical wedding, right? You've got about 150 guests. That's 150 people in your space experiencing your brand up close and personal for hours. Okay, now here's where it gets really powerful. Statistics show that roughly 5 to 10% of those guests are probably going to get engaged or plan a big event of their own in the next couple years. So let's do the math. What does that actually mean? It means for every single wedding you host, you are showcasing your venue to between 7 and 15 highly qualified potential clients. That is huge. And that is exactly why you have to completely reframe how you see guests. They are not just attendees. They are witnesses to your brand's professionalism, they are your social media amplifiers, they are your next clients, and they are your most powerful referral channels, period. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Is your venue just a passive host, simply letting all of that opportunity walk right out the door at the end of the night? Or are you strategically engaging every single guest, turning every single event into a multiplier for your future revenue? The answer to that question could truly define the future growth of your business.